What time would you say the opioid crisis kind of became part of the work too?
So in 2018, I took a step back from Operation Save Our City and let the mothers run it as I took a little break, burnt out to the core, like I couldn't even. So in the midst of serving, I knew that I still wanted to do it, but I just didn't know in what capacity. I wanted to, make people happy and be there for people. So I just, I live in Kensington, and there's a lot of unhoused folks in my neighborhood. So I just packed up my minivan and just with food and snacks and started feeding people out of my car.
Right.
And then I never stopped. And in the midst of that, I kept finding people that were in between cars and in abandoned buildings, in empty lots that were ODing. And I didn't know what to do with that. So I'm like, this person is unresponsive. I mean, I know CPR, but it's not working. They're still unresponsive, blue. So then I learned how to administer Narcan. And then that was it. So now I'm like both fields.
Right. The thing I find interesting, the thing that I find interesting about, specifically your approach to that is and it's the title of the documentary that was about you, is you call the people that you help going through the opioid crisis, you call them your sunshines.
They are.
So tell me kind of about the origins of that and what it means to kind of flip the script on that, and in terms of how people, like, I'll start with there, like, tell me the origins of that.
So Sunshine came about when I kept hearing people call them junkies and addicts and zombies, crackhead, all these negative things that you shouldn't call another human being. Now, mind you, there's hundreds and hundreds of people in Kensington that are unhoused. I can't remember everybody's name. So, Sweetie, I didn't like that, and Sweetheart didn't like that either. And Sunshine just seemed to resonate with everybody. It was like, okay, Sunshine is it.
Yeah.
It was just such an endearing name, and it's pretty universal. You can use it for everyone, so.
Do you think that's part of the reason as to why we still struggle to, like, adequately solve the problem of the opioid crisis, because we don't look at those people. We look at those people through those names rather than as human beings, as you said.
Well, stigma plays a big part on why there's not enough resources. I mean, there's this notion that addiction isn't, that people who use drugs isn't suffering from, like, substance abuse. Like, they have this notion that it's a choice, when it's like a mental illness. It's an illness, it's a condition. It's just like diabetes, you need to get help for. High blood pressure, you gotta get help for. Addiction, you gotta get help for. All of these things fit in the realm of mental health, and it needs to be addressed. So